everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be teaching you 10 tips to make your loomigurumi / rainbow loom better. Before we get into this video, comment down below what you want to see next, and subscribe to my channel if you're new for more tutorials and videos just like this one. So now let's just get right on into this video. Tip 1. Use bands that are typically on the Rainbow Loom brand or products that are typically on Rainbow Loom brand. And I'm going to be showing you a few examples. So let me go grab some. Now, this hook, as you can see that I'm holding right here, this is for doing loomigurumi with or Rainbow Loom. This has the Rainbow Loom logo on it right here. And I will be putting a link down in the description so you guys can go get Rainbow Loom bands or this hook. And also this hook does come in other colors. This is not sponsored, obviously, but just so you know. But this hook is very high quality, metal tipped. You can also get the plastic one, but the metal one is better for doing loomigurumi. And metal one is also better for making happy foods because it is metal and it will not break. Unlike a plastic hook, which can, obviously the tip can snap in half. I'm not going to go into too much depth, but this is a metal hook by the Rainbow Loom company, and I would recommend getting this if you're new to loomigurumi and Rainbow Loom. Also, like I said, Rainbow Loom brand bands or close to Rainbow Loom brand bands, these are not Rainbow Loom brand bands, but what these are Amazon. These are from Amazon, if you guys want to go watch one of my hauls. So typically Amazon bands, yes, they can be a little bit flimsy, but these ones are surprisingly good. They feel exactly like the Rainbow Loom brand if you did have something to compare them to, which currently at the moment I don't. But these are Rainbow Loom, they feel exactly like Rainbow Loom bands. I love how stretchy they are. They're very thick. They feel very good quality. I made something like this with it, and the bands do not stretch too much. They're very good. And I really like the quality of it. So get similar to Rainbow Loom brand or Rainbow Loom brand bands. Tip number 2. Watch a bunch of beginner videos. These videos will help with teaching you all the basic stitches, magic rings, how to use your hook, how to use your bands, what a stitch marker is. It'll teach you all the basics on what you need to learn. I have a video up on my channel. I will be putting that in the description and a few other beginner videos in the description for people that would like some help. So yeah. And step number 3, this one I am going to be showing you an example. So it's a good thing I have my hook and bands out with me. But you want to keep your stitches loose and tight. Now, you might not understand what I'm saying because I just kind of said it, but I am going to be showing you an example of what I mean by keeping your stitches loose and tight. I don't actually have an example of something with really bad stitches, but what I mean by loose and tight is keep your stitches nice and close together. So an example like this, the stitches are not too pulled apart, but if I were to stretch this, then they'd be pulled apart. So that's what I'm going to be showing you right now. So here's an example. So you can do this along with me if you want to practice on what not to do and what to do. But this is what not to do. So pretend I'm making a magic ring. So you're making your first stitch. You're pulling the band really far back. You don't want to do that because that's going to stretch the band out and make it look really bad. And if you do that, then that's way too tight. And as you can tell, this is way too stretched out. So if I do that again, see, look how stretched out that stitch is. Now that does not look clean or good or honestly like anything, honestly. So let me just undo this and I'm going to show you a better example on how to keep your stitches nice and tight. So now that I've just ruined this band, I could just throw it in the garbage. But if you're going to be making magic ring, you want to keep your stitches nice and loose. See how I'm basically barely pulling it, and now it looks much better. So I'm going to go in again, and I'm going to do the same thing. Keep my stitches nice and loose, but tight. Just don't be too rough with your bands, because your creations will not end up looking good if you are very rough with your bands. But just kind of see how I'm doing this. I'll show you the end result in a moment. Okay, so pretend I'm doing a magic ring of like 5 or 6 stitches. Just like that. See how that looks so much cleaner? And if I were to make something, and if I were to keep going with this, with my loose and nice clean stitches, then I'd probably end up making something really nice, just like this. So, that is tip number 3. Keep your stitches nice and clean. Number 4. Don't overstuff your loomigurumi. This can happen a lot and super easily to people. For me, normally I understuff things just a little bit so that they can turn out to be nice and squishy at the end, and I can still be able to play with them. I don't really play with my stuff, but you could still be able to squish them and they don't look like overstuffed. So this one I feel like I might have overstuffed just a little bit because it's not as squishy. But if I were to take this one's a lot more squishy and a little bit more just, I guess, fun to play with if you want to squish it. As like this one's there's some holes, as you can see, and you don't really want your, loomigurumi to have holes in it because that looks not neat. But you can stuff things the way you want to. I'm not going to say not to, but just make sure that you're being careful because you don't want holes in your loomigurumi. So, yeah. Tip number 5. Be careful with your creations. Obviously, like I just showed an example, you can squish your loomigurumi if you want to, but make sure that you're being careful and you don't yank any of the pieces, because if you yank them, then the bands will get stretched out and it's not going to look as cute as it used to be. This is a creation I don't really care too much about. It's honestly falling apart, and I didn't make this very well. But you don't want to stretch this. You really don't, because that makes it, then you can see the stuffing, and it's just not a fun thing to play with anymore, because it doesn't look as cute. It doesn't look as fun, and it doesn't look like something you want to play with. So just be careful with your loomigurumi. Yeah. Number 6, keep your bands organized. So now I'm going to go show you some of my organization in my closet that I have going on. Normally, I like to keep things in Ziploc bags with their colors, or if I'm not going to use that color for a while, then I'll just keep it in its original packaging until I'm ready to use it. But I'm going to go show you one of my organizing containers that I have with some bands in it, and I am going to be trying to find the exact thing I found on Amazon and bought. And I'm going to be putting lots of links in the description for you guys, and I'll be labeling everything that I'm putting the links for in there. So, yeah, let's just go into my closet now. I do have 2 different boxes. This is my organizing box with my name on it. And as you can tell, everything's organized. This is, I don't know why I did that. But this is pretty organized. The bands are nice and organized and just put in their slots of where they should have gone. And yeah, so I'll be putting a link in the description for this box. And basically, I get everything from Amazon, but yeah. So as you can see, this box kind of looks a little bit messy. I do have some stuff in here. Yeah, but I like to keep my safety eyes and stuff in here, just on the top, I guess. And as you can tell, as like some bands that I'm not really using right now, I just put them in here until, I'm ready to use them. Or I put them in bags if I already use them and I don't want to use this because the bag's broken. But I just keep a nice tub that's pretty organized with all my stuff in it. So, yeah. But that's what I mean by keeping your stuff organized. I'm also going to be showing you a jar of stuff that I have on my desk to keep things pretty organized. I use this little jar, and I do keep some hooks in here, so you can tell I have a crochet hook, but right now I'm currently using both of my hooks and stuff, but yeah, that's what I mean by keeping your bands and things organized. So that just makes it a lot more, I don't know, just fresh and organized. Tip number 7, keep your workspace clean. So as you can tell, I'm using my desk right now, and this is where I typically do all my loomigurumi and stuff. So my desk is normally pretty clear. I normally have my computer open if I want to watch a tutorial, and I'll have some pens and pencils on my table if I want to write down a pattern or something. I have some organizers for notebooks and school and stuff, and normally my desk's pretty clear. And then I also have this little window display when I want to keep some of my loomigurumi and stuff. But yeah, I keep my desk pretty clean. So this is just so that it makes it easier and more fun of an experience when you're doing loomigurumi, so it's not always like a big mess. Number 8, try to make some easier things before you make some harder things. For instance, this little frog. This is pretty easy to make. You could also make some other smaller stuff, but this for me was pretty easy. I'll be linking some tutorials down below of some easy things before you go ahead and maybe try doing something like this. I mean, this is not obviously too hard for me, but it could be harder for someone that's starting out. Or this, like this is pretty hard. So yeah, just try some easier things before you go ahead and try the harder things. Number 9 and 10, they're kind of just smushed into one big thing, but I'm going to be saying the numbers like this. Number 9 is to be patient with yourself. Loomigurumi is not going to just click in your head. It does take time and practice. I mean, even for me, and I mean, I've been looming seriously for about the past 2 years, but before that, I mean, it's just like kind of rainbow loom, like bracelets and necklaces and stuff. But now I'm being very serious about it, and I enjoy doing it, and it's a lot of fun. So just be patient with yourself. If you don't get it the first time, don't be mad at yourself. I mean, it's not just going to click like that. And number 10, remember that your learning is something new. Remember, like, you know, loomigurumi is just completely new to you, and you're not even going to know what to do at the beginning. But, I mean, it's okay to mess up. So just undo it or start over, and eventually it will look good, and it will look a lot better and cleaner and better. I wish I had some examples, but I mean, I'm going to be making a collection video soon, and you're going to see a lot of things that I messed up on. And believe me, it takes time for things to get better over time. But yeah, I do hope these tips helped you out, and yeah. So I'll be posting some new tutorials very soon, and I'm very excited because Thanksgiving's coming up, and so is Christmas. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye!